Street Part 3, 1966, goes back to the year 1966, in which we see all the characters play different roles, different people at that time, and it's basically the backstory of everything we heard before from the first two films, and this concludes the entire story of Fear Street. And the first half is basically in 1966. The second half of the film concludes the story. And in my opinion, this is probably my least favorite. I was more interested in the 1966 segment of the film. I thought the characters and the way it's explored felt pretty natural and accurate to the time it was set in. The tone was different and a lot more interesting. The concept was pretty cool. In terms of tying into the other movies, I thought that this movie tied into the first movie a little bit better than the second, because the second is kind of like its entire own thing. But it concludes the story in which everything was set up from the first, and we get to understand these characters now. Their relationships with one another conclude here. It's basically like the Lord of the Rings or Return of the King, in which everything that was set up before ends here. And I thought it did it pretty well, except with the long ending that movie had. The kills, the horror elements are still really good, especially in 1966. I think the horror elements in this movie worked a whole lot here, better in that segment than the third. But it still had some pretty entertaining moments. It still had the vivid cinematography. It still had the neat direction, though the styles do differ. I think that's kind of where my problem lies, that the two segments feel pretty different, but they don't feel like they fit with one another, kind of. I mean, they do fit in a way, but they don't fit in a way in terms of aesthetics. And I think that's a creative choice, and I can understand that, but to me, it felt a little weird. But it's not like a huge problem I have. Also, the characters, as I said, they all conclude here. It's basically just a conclusion. So the character development that was still satisfying here, but I don't think it was as interesting since it's just concluding everything that we've seen before. And the actors do play different people in the 1966 segment, even though they're same actors from the other two movies. But here, I don't know. Felt like there was something missing here that could have probably cleared things a little bit up better. But overall, this is a great conclusion. I enjoyed Fear Street a whole lot. I recommend you guys watch these three films. They're on Netflix. And I'm going to give Fear Street Part 3 an A-. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.